Hello, good morning, tribe. I at least I'm sitting up today. This is gonna be day 28. At least as far as the re-injury and dealing with the fun of doctors. It's fun. It's been interesting too. I was telling a friend the other day. She's beautiful, and she was telling me that she's amazed with how I've been, well, I suppose alchemizing the energy coming in. Like, it's really hard stuff, and a lot of people, I don't know, it's funny at this point, a lot of people would have absolute full understanding if I was to completely melt down and just be like, I don't know, awful, I guess. It's funny, I was reading something too about what is it? A lot of times, especially and mostly allopaths. I don't want to call them alternative medicine doctors because it's not alternative medicine. It's much older. Like naturopathy is a much older form of medicine than allopathy, and it feels like it should be the norm, and that the alternative should be the allopaths. And to be honest, I know a few of you. I am a bit jaded towards allopathy. I'm seeing the shadows in it and working on that. But I actually, allopathy, I feel so. Everything has its piece and its place. And allopathy, I was telling my son about it the other day that, if you are in immediate danger, or you need, a really in-depth surgery or something along those lines, allopathy is great. Don't not go to a hospital when you need to, just because general practitioners of allopathy, it's fewer and far between when you find a really genuinely good and aware allopath that does their research and doesn't just kind of follow the herd of things that are said. And for the rest of it, it's better to go through others. That's one of the things that's I've been working on manifesting, is the ability to, like, when I think about manifesting like more than enough finances, I include in that being able to see chiropractors and acupuncturists and massage therapists and things like that, because they really should be, when they talk, when allopaths talk about you should get your regular checkups and things like that, that it really should be as a part of that. Well, I don't even know. Like, and all of them can check your blood pressure and your height and your weight and tell you whether you're too fat or anything like that. So you can get that stuff done with most of them, I suppose, other than a massage therapist. But I mean, all that stuff should be pretty regular stuff that we do, especially if you work any sort of labor job, or I want to say even customer service jobs, because either you're sitting too much or standing too much and dealing with too much stress. And really, we don't give enough credit to massage therapists and acupuncturists and chiropractors and things like that. And if you look at the patterns, it's rather odd. Well, it's odd until you look into the details as to why like the government, when they talk about helping people, they exclude almost all of those as a part of regular health care. Like, you want to talk about wellness. Wellness should include that. And I'm not a big fan of the kind of socialism that has been used by the government, especially because they bill it as voluntarism, and it's not voluntarism. It's not even actual true socialism. I don't have a problem with actual socialism. If you look back into the indigenous tribes, a lot of them used forms of socialism and collectivism that were beautiful, but it was voluntary. Like, nobody got hit over the head if they didn't want to stick around, if they wanted to leave the system. Well, I'm generalizing and simplifying, because yes, people did. If you broke away from tradition, it was not a good thing. But there was even people who could exist there and did not exactly participate in it. And a lot of indigenous tribes, and not just in the Americas, I mean all over the world, they saw everybody as being a piece of the puzzle, including those who were contrarians, or you could look up a myth called Crow Woman. They're definitely people who are going to push your buttons, and people that aren't going to fit in with the normal traditions and ways that everybody else wants to do it, and they are just as important as those who do. That's a lot of the way I look at things both with medical stuff and with political stuff. Is there's a reason for, I would say, those of us who point out things that are not acceptable or who choose to not participate in certain things and stuff like that. But either way, there's a reason for most everything, and there's no reason to assume that just because a piece of the puzzle doesn't fit in the place where you want it to doesn't mean it doesn't have another place in the puzzle somewhere else that you just aren't able to see yet. Anyways, I didn't intend for this vlog to become a political vlog. Um, Yesterday was hard, physically, a lot, and that's what I was saying. That a friend who was saying that, she thinks it's beautiful the way that I'm handling things, and I was saying, I I can feel and observe the old me, who definitely would have melted down at all this, even with less pain than this. I mean, I had a lot of pain for years, but with less than this, I would have closed off and melted down and stuff like that, especially with the rest of the pressures of life going on. And at this moment, I'm not. I find that I've spent enough time this year and last year, especially, like really, especially with my DM being out learning his karmic lessons in a very circus like situationship. It's given me the time and the space to really work on me. And now I notice that even when I go to like a victim place or a low vibrational place, I actually bounce right back up pretty quick. And one of the things I've been working on actually is whenever I feel that resentment or jadedness towards either my allopathic doctor or allopathy in general, or just frustration with the system, especially with the waiting and how we how we qualify as urgent and things like that. I've been trying to practice getting to a place where I am like releasing that stuff and also not going to a codependent place. Like it's when you when you're a kind person, it's easy to go to a place of, well, it could be worse, or, well, I'm sure that there are other people who have it worse than me, and that's why I'm not being, seen very quickly, because it's not in the doctor's eyes as urgent as it could be. But that's also not good for me. Like, there are other options. I don't have to just sit and wait and struggle. There are other hospitals I can see and other places I can go and other things I can try. After this video, I'm going to call my naturopath back and see if she has any ideas or anything. And I just talked to someone else about a smaller, semi-local hospital that might provide better care because they're not so busy, which I know I experienced in Seattle. Like, the downtown hospitals were some of the best hospitals you could go to, but that's also where they flew in, and if there were major accidents, they had the helicopter pad. They flew people in from, anywhere to go in there. So, if you're not dying, it's going to be a wait, and they're likely to be very short and curt with you if you're in there for anything that's not like a serious medical emergency. And the hospital I've been going to it's not one of those hospitals per se, but it is one of the local ones where accident victims get taken to, and if you call an ambulance, that's where they're going to likely take you and things like that. In any case, I've been working a lot on that, just releasing the resentments, and because it doesn't help to go into any of these situations and be like already pre-upset, because then I'm manifesting more crappy situations. And it's an interesting challenge. That's what I was telling my friend. As much as I don't enjoy the pain and the stuff going on, I do enjoy, maybe it's my Gemini rising or my Capricorn sun, or even my Aries moon. All of them likes a challenge, but to sit with all of this, and then even caring for my parents and my kids, and now the power's out today at the house because there was a big old windstorm last night, and to be sitting with all of that, and instead of just like melting down and throwing fits and not moving, instead I'm going, okay, how can I for lack of a better way to put it, lubricate my joints so I can move? How can I get in a different position? How can I keep doing some physical therapy? How can I, like somebody suggested collagen the other day, and it's so funny because I've known about collagen forever and I didn't even think about that. And that got me into a conversation about bone broth and how that can be helpful. Just saw 1010 on the clock there, like that could, little things like that can change things. That's part of why I've decided to be open and talk about it, because I don't know everything, and I've tried a lot, but there are little things that I may have not have thought of, and bone broth is certainly something that I can get fairly easily. I won't say it's as easy as it normally would be, but I can get it fairly easily and eat that, and